we can assume there's a chance this was related to her cause of death. In fact, there was even a trace of blood left around her mouth.
Well, I mean,
If that's all it was, the file, not to mention, I didn't find any cuts.
you even checked in there? God, you really are into dead bodies!
No, I'm not into dead bodies. What I'm into is solving mysteries.
But if there wasn't some sort of... Sakura was poisoned? That's right. This is the
You're making me go all weak in the knee! She was poisoned?
Is it really so hard to believe? Then let me...
You can...
Of course.
Everyone, quiet! Shut up and listen to Master!
But the key to unlocking... You never would have. Well, there's a big shelving unit in the and that's where
Is that...
It's not an especially... But the specific properties don't matter.
Where'd you...
The shelf is divided up in Section A...
And that's where the poison came?
Well...
I got it! The poison was actually in Section...
But you just said that...
Strange, isn't it? Why would there be a...
Yeah, so?
Because the culprit switched it out.
What do you...
I mean... Ugh, that tastes awful.
Oh no! Matt, you have to drink some water!
Idiot! He just swallowed...
The flavor certainly makes me want to spit it out. What's so high quality about this stuff?
Huh?
I'm talking about the protein, of course.
Protein?
Can I see that bottle first?
Sure.
This is...
Correct. That wasn't poison in the bottle, but harmless protein powder. Which makes one wonder, the poison that should have been in that bottle, where did it go?
Now I understand! The poison must have been poured into the protein can.
Absolutely. So the protein, once you...
Holy...
All they had to do was hand her something there at the scene, and she was happy to drink the poison herself.
I got it! You're saying they gave her a protein
drink which actually...
What?
That's all it took to kill Sakura.
You know? So maybe she took it to try and help with the whole bleeding head wound.
But what was offered to her instead, and
For real?
Evidence revealing who
I got it! The footprints left... That...
They must... What's the And given how clear the prints were, all we have to do...
It was me. The footprints. If you're all gonna find... I'd rather you... Yep, I did it.
Just it. The footprints were made... And the only...
I got it! Me and Hina are the only ones.
If the foot... Plus, Hina's been acting pure in this cold... What about it?
Well, it's just...
That's likely because Hina used that truck he deceived the... I have to say, Hina...
Why?
I found her. She asked me to bring her that protein drink, but... When I went to get the powder from the chem lab, it just...
Now's my chance to kill her. That's what...
And then... And...
Hold it! I'm not convinced.
You're not about to claim... You still don't... Honeyed words like friendship, not just like...
You say that, but I'm still not convinced. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying it because of some misguided sentimentalism. But there's still that one unsolved mystery.
Are you talking about the...
Hina, if you really are... No, it doesn't.
Surely you're not
And if I do?
impossible.
Are you sure about...
What doesn't fit?
It's too...
He's right. It makes it look like you...
I was just...
You didn't notice?
Yeah.
Listen, Hina, tell us more about...
Hina.
Waste your time if you... There's no...
Go ahead, Hina.
Right away, I went to...
And is that...
Yeah. When I opened the bottle, I dropped it, so then I moved to Section A. Once I took the protein, but I accidentally put the bottle filled with protein powder back on the wrong shelf. And because of that, everything I did...
That story first you went to Section C to get the poison. Can you repeat that?
What's wrong with you, Big Mac?
It's the same thing.
First, I went to Section C. That's when I got the poison.
And you spilled some of the powder on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I moved from Section C.
No, that's wrong. You said you went to get the poison,
Yeah?
and after that... But the footprints left at the scene were not moved.
What?
Then maybe she...
No, that can't be it.
You lied to us. If you look at the footprints, the powder had already been... So you know...
What the hell?
And the footprints aren't the only problem with her account.
What?
Before I explain that part,
New evidence?
are you sure?
I...
It was hidden inside the bottle of poison you gave me. I'm amazed you, of all people, would miss such a vital clue. A truly grave oversight.
Just say it already! What is...
I found this. It had sunk to the bottom of the bottle, and the hidden clue was exposed, thanks to you ingesting the powder. I couldn't have solved the mystery without you. So, thank you for that.
But...
Oh, you still don't realize? Well then, Makoto, why don't you
Huh? Me?
Fine.
I got it! It's part of the window. The window we broke to get in was light blue.
You're right. It must be. Of course, that leads to another. How did a shard of glass from the window get inside this?
What's so strange about that?
What's strange is that... I got it! The bottle of poison was left on the shelf and yet,
Everything Hina told...
in reality, that bottle of poison most definitely found its way to the... It was there at least. There's no other way to
And then, meanwhile, that had to be.
Wait, hold on. I'll grant you, the bottle of poison... But how can you say the We all... That can't...
You're right. We do, but before we... It has to do with the After soccer...
What are you...
Not at all. Just...
Well, no.
Yeah, me either.
Not me.
Same here. Yeah.
Okay then. That proves that the protein can found its way to the murder scene.
Oh, come on! How can you know what...
When it comes to that protein can, there's not a doubt in my mind until the locked room was unlocked. It absolutely was.
So you're saying someone planted? No. No, it had to have been in there!
It had to be! It was in...
No, that's wrong! You remember how there was broken...
Of course!
Well, those pieces. We also found pieces underneath the can.
What?
And it shows that so it had to be after we got into the...
Kyoko.
If that were the case, that would...
So you asked everyone about it.
And that's made as long as it was a locked, but once the room was opened up, the protein can wound up in...
That's all. I thought we all...
No.
Precisely. She was alone in a locked room. All she had was the poison.
You're saying she drank such a...
Exactly what happened.
Then tell us already.
Before we get to that, we need to...
It was Hina, right?
What do you think?
I got it! I think it was Sakura herself.
Huh? So Sakura, who was apparently murdered, just...
What are you talking? On the contrary, we know for a fact she went to the...
You're lying! You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! I'm telling you, I did it! Stop talking! You're a liar! Wrong! You're wrong! Wrong! You're wrong! I hate you! I hate you! You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! Do you have any kind of proof Sakura took the—
This should prove it. Hina, did you know that It did. The same yellow powder that had been spilled. That powder was yellow. So the powder...
Wait.
And it was only on her—
Sakura... So the person who spilled the... And... Which is how she was able to avoid getting it all over herself. But... Is there any problem?
But the only explanation...
No! Because...
No. Here's my answer! The one who killed Sakura was Sakura herself.
What?
Wait, so you're saying it was suicide?
I don't believe it.
I can't believe it either. Or rather, I don't want to believe it. But when you really think about it, everything that Sakura went and got the poison. She barricaded herself in a room, and she drank it, all so she could end her own life. And that explains why we couldn't solve the mystery of the locked room. I got it! The locked room mystery was created by Sakura.
I'm sure she locked herself in so nobody could stop her from doing what she did. She sat there, drank the poison, and breathed her last breath. And the empty bottle of poison rolled around the locked room until we came and opened it. At that point, and that was you. What? You did it to throw off the When we found her body, you stayed right there near the door because you already knew, and because the bottle of poison had rolled me.
That's when you picked up. I was too shocked.
And the more I think about it, the more I... You said you were going to, but your real intention was to go to the chem lab and switch out the... Once you were at the chem there, when you left thinking...
When you were done, you gathered... While everyone else was focused on Sakura, honestly, you should have been the first one to run up to the Hina.
So, in order to hide this fact, Hina undertook us as long... That's why the footprints in the powder...
So you're saying...
No! I killed—
That's enough, Hina.
It's not!
It is! Actually, no, you have to end this Here's exactly what happened. This case began when Sakura asked a number of people to meet her in the rec room. Specifically, those people were Hiro, Toko, and Byakuya. But one of them headed out a bit earlier than the others, Toka. She got there one step ahead of everyone else and looked around for a good hiding spot. Here's exactly what happened. But one of them headed out a bit earlier than the others, Toka. She got there one step ahead of everyone else and looked around for a good hiding spot. And she found it. She crawled into the locker to get out of sight. Then, from inside the locker, she saw Sakura enter the room. Next to arrive was Hiro. When he got there, he mistakenly thought Sakura was going to try to kill him, so he panicked. Without thinking, he grabbed a nearby Monokuma bottle and attacked Sakura with it. Thinking he'd killed her, he hastily began covering up his crime. He took a magazine from the table and forged a dying message from Sakura. To that end, he wrote down a name. Toka. By writing her name, he was hoping to pin the murder on her. But of course, Toko had witnessed the whole thing. So as soon as the coast was clear, she jumped out of the locker and hid the magazine on the shelf with all the others. But in her rush, she made one little mistake. She put the magazine back upside down. Soon after, she watched as Sakura slowly opened her eyes. She also saw the blood dripping off Sakura's head and fainted. This caused her personality to switch back over to Genocide Jack. When she woke back up, her second personality also saw the blood-soaked Sakura. And she freaked out. And just like Hiro, she grabbed another Monokuma bottle and attacked her. This explains why there were 2 wounds on Sakura's head. Assuming Sakura really was dead this time, she set about disposing of the evidence. She gathered up the broken Monokuma bottle shards and the queen chess piece. And that explains how Sakura was attacked twice with the same type of weapon. But even after those 2 blows, she was still alive. So then, what was Sakura's actual cause of death? It was the poison that Sakura herself got from the chem lab. She turned the rec room into a true locked room scenario, and then drank the deadly mixture. And there, she took her final breath. Later on, the rest of us discovered that her body was in there. We had to smash the door's window to get inside. But someone already knew what had happened. Knew that she had committed suicide. exactly what happened. And that same someone quietly snatched the bottle of poison from off the ground. And while nobody was looking, replaced it with an empty protein can. They did all this specifically to place all the suspicion on themselves, in an attempt to guide the trial to a false conclusion. And the one who went to all that effort was you, Hina. That's the full truth. Sakura and you claim to be the killer.
That's... But, Makoto, how did you how were you able to uncover the truth?
Huh?
You still haven't. We don't all act according to calculations and cost-benefit diagrams. That's what you don't understand. See? Didn't I tell you? When you dismiss other people's feelings, it'll always come back to bite you in.
Okay. Did you guys forget already?
Oh yeah.
You serious? I can feel my energy. Well, whatever. You don't really. Maybe you don't want to, but please. So, will you make the right? Okay. My entire existence!
What did you say? Come on. What are you...
Don't be mean!
What?
You should have been the one to die! What?
What is this?
What is... What are you saying?
In other words, yes, indeed.
What the heck?
Of course. Too bad.
Huh?
Unbelievable. Well,
And
what? But
I couldn't let it be destroyed under my watch. So even if it meant my own life, I had to protect it. That's how I saw things. And what the mastermind wanted from me was nothing less than murder. However, as I lived here with all of you, as I lived here with Hina, my resolve began to weaken. I cannot betray those who would call me their friend. I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, No longer compromise. No longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you. Of course, I understand if you all hate me. All of this is because of my own weakness. So this is my own situation has started having an effect on more people than just me. Which is exactly what the Mastermind wanted when they revealed my betrayal. Of course, I'm still responsible. But I've decided the one I'm going to kill is myself. If it can save you, then sacrificing my own life could have no greater meaning. Whatever you think of me, please know that you are all my most treasured friends.
Huh? No way!
Correct.